So this is the LOI Canal here, and this under the bridges is where a lot of people collect, but you're not going to see anything now. They have cleaned up everything so that you don't see anything bad.
Well,
Waikiki.
When did they clean it all up?
Over the last 6 months.
That's my buddy Richard. We were driving around Honolulu one evening, and Richard was explaining to me how clean the city is now. Months ago, it was a real racket, Richard said. I remember thinking, damn it, kind of wish I got here before everything got all fixed up. My viewers don't want to see clean and improved. They want to see bad and misery, because you guys are weird. But don't worry, there's plenty of drama to talk about. Tons. You know me, I found it all here. Doing my duty to bring you dispatches of America's misery straight to your living room, even from the middle of the Pacific. We're in Honolulu, people, home to famous beaches and surfing and fancy shopping and luau's and pigs on a stick. Plus the women wear grass skirts to work, right? No, Honolulu isn't that. As I'll show you, it's a lot more regular a place, just with perfect weather. It's the main strand, where all the hotels and shopping are. It's about not even 9 o'clock, and it's very busy. It's all tourists. So far on this trip, I've brought you homeless stuff and poor areas and those type of sorry things that YouTube likes to watch. But I haven't really shown you the culture of Hawaii yet. Well, we're going to get started with that right now, in the capital of this strange land. Yep, this whole video is just about Honolulu. I don't think anybody's ever going to give you a more thorough look at the Hawaiian capital and the biggest, most isolated city in the world than I will right now. And it all starts right here on this crazy stretch of beach. Pretty crowded. Welcome to Waikiki. This place is packed. The most famous strip of vacation sand in the world. And as I learned the first night I was here, it's never a dull day on Waikiki. Of course there's drama. Always drama down here. Waikiki Beach, it's the heart of Honolulu. And it's been called the most crowded beach in the USA. And you know it as soon as you throw your towel down. Just look around. Honolulu is the largest and most remote and kind of the most isolated city in the world based on how far away you are from everyone else. There's 350,000 people here. It's about as big as Pittsburgh. The population here really hasn't changed in the last 40 years. Because where are you going to put people? We're on an island surrounded by ocean and cliffs. This is the 10th most visited city in America. There's 25,000 tourists here every single day. So Honolulu is not where you come to find your aloha. This is where you come to get drunk and shop and lay on the beach. And by the way, some of you are going to jump on me and say it's pronounced Honolulu, not Honolulu. Well, Honolulu sounds lame, so I'm not going to pronounce it like that very often. This beach here, it's a thing. The water's really pretty, and there's lots of tourists. This is what it looks like early in the morning before it's all crazy like. I like this time of day way better than when it gets hot and crowded. Here's what it is in the afternoon. A real big difference. It's a beautiful day out here, about 85, and it is packed on a Tuesday on the off season. I can't imagine how it would be on a weekend in July out here. Waikiki, where's my ukulele? Seems like everybody down here is in shape. Kind of almost makes you feel bad about the way you look when you see all these people walking around with their shirts off all day. This crowd's a mix of expats, retirees, snowbirds, once-a-year regulars, brand new vacationers like me, and so hip locals. I mean hip. That sand right there, well, that was shipped in from LA County, California, because this beach wasn't natural. It was mostly swampy and muddy back in the day. And the sand here is very shelly and sticky, unlike any beach sand I've ever seen. Waikiki Beach is one of the most poorly rated beaches in the world, mostly because it's so damn crowded. But there you go, the most famous beach in Honolulu. We'll come back to this beach later. Look at these two holdouts. Two houses in Waikiki in the middle of all of the condos. I know, right? The guy just yelled, they're $5 million each. I bet you those are worth $5 million. Someone just said, nope, I'm not selling out. You can build all around me. Once you get away from the beach, a lot of Waikiki, it's mostly just tall buildings, condos, and fancy shopping. The average condo here is now $550,000. And you don't get much space for that. You have a nice view though. Honolulu has the fourth most number of buildings that are over 50 stories in the whole country. Yeah, New York, Chicago, Miami, and Honolulu. And they're building even more of them here. Everybody gets a damn condo. Of all the islands in Hawaii where people show off the most, it's right here in Waikiki. There's all sorts of people from rich places that come here and they drive expensive cars and wear really super fancy clothing. A lot of money has moved here. 8 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, and it is just traffic in downtown Honolulu. Man. Takes 15 minutes to go a mile. I hear that a lot of first-timers, they come to Honolulu and they're shocked at the towering skyscrapers and all the traffic. Like they thought it was going to be all isolated villages and huts. But nope, this is where all the important decisions are made in this state. You know, where to stick the homeless people, what do we do about all the homeless camps, should we throw the homeless people off the beach? No, there's more to decide on in this big old city than that. Now, when I got here, I drove around for a few hours and I was like, this is kind of not what I expected. It doesn't really feel that special or interesting. It's just kind of a regular downtown. It's a little rough. It's kind of beat up. Lots of traffic. Seems kind of boring. I was like, this is Hawaii? Downtown Honolulu, and there's these canals A couple weeks ago, there was a lot of homelessness going on in here. You can see a little bit of that left over. God, this is just disgusting, this water. They were all living under there, but I think they did a little sweep and got them out of here. Sorry, YouTube. I know you wanted to see it. A lot of Honolulu just looks like a regular place, really. With pretty clouds. And tents. But it just seems kind of normal here, and once you get away from the water, I expected it to feel a little bit different,
There's a
I guess.
slowdown on Interstate H1 West that is causing a delay. You can avoid it by going via Interstate
traffic.
H1 West, which saves 6 minutes.
Back in the day, Honolulu was just this quiet little place that the Polynesian migrants had discovered. And then it got discovered by everybody else. And by the time the 1800s came, this became an important port for ships that were passing by. And then it became the capital of the whole state. Now right there is the only royal palace in the country. That's where their kings and queens lived before we threw them all out and took the place over. And they're still mad about that. In 1893, we kicked their queen to the curb, and then years later, we stuck in a military base. And then tourism took over, and now the place looks like this. It's ours. And right there, that's the capital of Hawaii. I know, not a very impressive looking building, is it? I thought the same thing. They've only been a state since 1959, and they've had like 2 Republican governors here. Honolulu itself feels very liberal with all the weed in the air and the gay-friendly vibe. Hawaii is the most diverse state of all. White people are a minority here. There's a lot of Asians, Pacific Islanders, and Native Hawaiians. Honolulu's definitely the most international city I've ever been to. You walking around, there's Europeans, Asians, Latinos, Indians. The only people I really didn't see here were a lot of black folks. There were like 0 black folks in town when I was here. I wondered why that was. Chinatown is Chinatown. Places to get Chinese shit. Now, before I came, I heard Chinatown was really nasty and overrun with homeless people and drugs and prostitution. But apparently they cleaned the place up right before I got here. Like, seriously right before. They were still scrubbing the sidewalks the day I was here. Ran all the bums and lowlifes out. Yeah, look at that. Still super clean in Chinatown. Good for them. I know you guys are disappointed, but the Chinatown people are happy about it. It's far from perfect here, though. I met this woman in Chinatown. See ya.
Do you know this is caramel? Or like, seriously?
What?
I like drinking on those keys. So can you like, not like,
I don't have
politely, I said, fuck no.
Alright.
So?
I hope you get better, okay?
Do you want to tell Hennis?
Now, since I was here, I thought I'd buy Kim a lei from Cindy's Flower Shop, the most famous flower shop in Hawaii. The people who work here are super cool. I'll make you look good.
It's a woman's thing, right? Let me put my lipstick on.
Let's go, quick.
Okay. Tell me about the shop. How long has the shop been here?
Our store's been here for over 65 years.
Why are you considered the best place to get a lei on the island? Why? What's different about your phone number?
My phone number. Yeah, your phone number right there.
Our work ethic, we show up. We try to do the best quality leis. We try to do best customer service. Everything done by hand. We try to carry a large variety of lei, locally and imported. and we try to be in everybody's stories. And lays are in stories.
Why are Lays so popular on the
Next week, Thursday.
I guess it's a cultural tradition, and the lei gifting has been going on for years. Birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, retirement, someone being recognized just because.
And people have these shipped across the world sometimes.
We ship all across the United States.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, aloha. Thank you.
Very sensible woman. I like her. And got my driver a lei. An orchid lei. She deserves it. She's a good driver manager. She liked it. It's kind of a rough little part of some neighborhood I just turned down. Not sure where I am. Maybe 10 minutes outside of Honolulu downtown. It's just simple life. Lots of poor people here that their homes are worth $1 million, but they don't look like it. But once you get away from the rich condo part of Honolulu, it gets regular pretty quick. There's many different types of neighborhoods that you can live here. And of course, you guys want to see the bad stuff first. So I showed this in a previous video. I'm just going to briefly show this, but this is what locals call their hood. LOL on that one. It is not that bad at all. This would be a good hood where I'm from, right? But as it stands, this part of Honolulu is the cheapest and most dangerous part with the worst reputation. And this is the most expensive ghetto in America, right here. These houses, they're all worth $800K and rent's $3,500. People here struggle. Jobs here pay shit. And most of the apartments, they're older. They don't have washing machines and air conditioning. A lot of them don't even have parking. It's really not very nice. But these people get up every day. They go to work. A lot of them have to work many jobs to be able to afford this. And they're still crammed in 15 people into a house. Sad. A lot of people move here and then they immediately regret it. I don't think anybody's going to take you seriously when you first move here until you've made it 5 years at least. A lot of people come here and they wind up leaving. They just can't hack it. It's an island. It's expensive. It's weird. It's mysterious. Now I'm going to do a whole video on the rich neighborhoods here. But briefly, here's what they look like. It is expensive here. All the rumors you've heard are true. The average home right here is $1.5 million. And going up. It's the most expensive place to live in the country. And it's not just housing. It's gas, a night out, foodstuffs. I don't know how these people here do it. It's even hard to get doctors and nurses to come because the pay versus cost of living. It's a big problem they have here. It's something I'm going to talk about the entire trip. Hey guys. So there's this big issue going on right now, and it's just getting worse. Did you know that your personal information is being sold online? It's true. My data, your data, our names, addresses, social security numbers, phone numbers, work history, credit history, relatives information. There's a pretty good chance that somebody with bad intentions has access to it all. Fact is, our personal data is being collected and then sold. Most of you don't know how bad it really is. It's an entire industry devoted just to collecting and selling our personal data. Anyone can get your data for pennies on the dollar. And what do they do with it? You can only imagine. Now you have the right to opt out of these data brokers. But the problem is, it's so tedious and time intensive. Who has time to do it alone? Well, that's where Delete Me comes in. For around $100 a year, they handle everything. Now, I've been a Delete Me customer for several months now, and wow, the things they uncovered. Here's my report so far. Now, just last month, they removed me from more than 50 listings, and found 30 data brokers that had my information. That was just in the last month. And so far, they've searched more than 2,000 listings for my information. Think of all the time that saved me from having to track that down and do it myself. Unbelievable. And I feel so protected now. You should try Delete Me. Go to joindeleteme.com/Nick Johnson and enter Nick Johnson for 20% off your order. That's joindeleteme.com/Nick Johnson, promo code Nick Johnson. I put a link in the description. Don't you be one of a million people who's going to be an identity theft victim this year. And now back to the show. Coming in off the highway, it is a beautiful day, but it is traffic. God. Seriously. The traffic here sucks. But it's super pretty. Now, what do these foreign people in this strange land do? I'll show you. That's the famous Rainbow Drive-In. A local here told me that those plate meals, the Hawaiian plate dinners, very fattening. A lot of rice and gravy and macaroni and mayonnaise. So I didn't go there. Now, for one, they eat a lot of big, giant pork and rice plates with poi and chicken and pigs and fish and a unique barbecue that a lot of people say it doesn't taste very good. They also drink Heineken. It's the most popular beer on this island. Well, I had one. But as I was making this video, I kind of looked back and I was like, you know what? I think that's the only Heine I drank the entire time I was in Hawaii. And I thought I was going to drink a lot more Heineken. But I didn't. Now, scooters are a big thing. All over town, there's people zipping by on scooters. They kind of look fun, but they are dangerous. And I know me, I'd crash that damn thing first few blocks. So I did not get a scooter. Scooters, scooters, scooters. It's like the motorbike club. There's roosters and chickens all over this island. I'm going to talk about it on the entire trip. I thought it was really weird seeing roosters all over downtown. But people just live with it, I guess. You can tell who the tourists are because they stop and take pictures of all the chickens. And then the locals just walk right by. Don't even notice it. Don't even care. That right there is the famous King Kamahama statue in Waikiki. Now, before you leave, you're supposed to throw your lei up on his arms so you can return the aloha that you felt when you were here. It's a tradition. Hey, Mappy, did you get laid when you were here?
Yes. He did not. He snores too loud.
And damn, didn't you two wear sunscreen? So what'd you guys think of Honolulu anyways?
Too many people speaking Japanese.
And why are you wearing boots? We're in Hawaii. Lame. And of course, gotta talk about ABC. So ABC is where all these people get their booze and their tourist crap. Kind of like a combination between a tacky beach store and a liquor store. And they are on every block. I'm not kidding. These stores are on like every freaking block. They even sell Spam Musubi. My God, they have everything in here. What else do you need? And booze. That's what ABC stands for. The A part.
You can buy the 1999 ukulele, or you can buy the $47.99 ukulele.
Now, I swear I saw that outfit on the rack at an ABC somewhere in town. Now, bars are really hard to find in Waikiki that aren't really high-end, fancy, or just plain crowded. I thought I found one, but it was closed. Closed? It's 10 p.m., people. But I had a solution. So there's this super cool secret thing I'm going to show you about Waikiki that might not even be a thing by the time you come here. But right along the main drag, there's a hotel called Bamboo. Looks like a regular hotel. Well, Google Maps said it had a bar in there, so I went inside. Well, I went in there and they were like, we don't have a liquor license, but you can BYOB and you can come in and sit by our pool. We don't care. So I did that pretty much 3 nights in a row. I mean, look at it. Yep, best place in Waikiki to have a beer. Look at this. Best place to drink a damn beer in Waikiki. No joke. And a $3 beer from the convenience store, too. Look at that. Man. There's homeless people all over, and it's something I'll talk about in another video. And I was told, this is nothing. You should have seen it weeks or months ago. It was really super bad. I think that's one of the reasons why tourism's down, because people don't want to see this crap. There's always something happening down here. Homeless people causing a stir. Something got stolen. Somebody's drunk. Somebody crashed the car. Screaming, yelling. But I do have to say that overall, it was pretty chill down here for having so many people around. I was pretty pleased with the vibe. Definitely didn't feel sketchy. And a little bit of drama, that ain't gonna hurt anybody, right? Hey. Drama. It's been in Oahu for an entire week, and it's the first time I've actually gone out and haven't had any drinks, and it feels pretty good. Been working so hard, I just need to remember to let loose and have fun. Mahalo, aloha. I was pretty buzzed that night. When we were out and about in Honolulu, Kim and I did a lot. I mean, we were here for an entire week. I'm going to show you a lot of that stuff now so you can get a feel for what things are like when you come down here. And us staying here for an entire week, I don't think that's ever happened before. I was trying to remember when's the last time we stayed in one place for an entire week. And this might have been the longest I've ever stayed on a road trip without moving hotels. And the reason we did that is because basically it's pretty cheap in Waikiki. If you were going to try to stay on other parts of Oahu, it's pretty damn expensive. So to save money, we just stayed put in Honolulu, and that's how it went. And there's really not a lot to do at night on other parts of the island, so this is just where we stayed. And we came in May on purpose, because it's the off season. People told me that this is about half as busy as what you see in the summer and winter. I was like, damn, this is half? It's still really crowded. I mean, there's waits for tables, parking's really bad, crowded sidewalks. I was like, I don't even want to know what it's like when it's all the way packed on these beaches and on these streets at full tourist season. On the first night, we went down to Duke's on the water. We needed a drink after the 18 total hours it took to get here, damn it. Duke's is pretty much the most famous of all Waikiki restaurants. Tourists and locals pack this place every single night. Wednesday night, Waikiki Beach. I've been up for 24 straight hours.
This is my first night in Honolulu at famous Duke's. This is it right here. Just a random Wednesday night in Waikiki. Telling you, street food's very popular. It's where it's at in Waikiki. Who wants to sit down in $100 plate restaurant, right? Not me.
And then for dinner. So this was an expensive trip, as you can imagine. So we tried to save money whenever we could. First night out, we went to one of the 50 food trucks in Waikiki. And actually, we learned right away, the food trucks, they're the way to go. Forget $50 entrees and lines. I think the food trucks in Hawaii have better food than the sit-downs do in North Carolina, where I live. And then off to bed, 27 hours straight without sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I think the clock was on military time or something. I had no idea where I was, what time it was. The whole time difference thing, that took us days to adjust to. It's 6 hours different.
My first morning, and it's raining. They say it's going to be a lot of rain the next few days. Aloha. It's my first morning here in Honolulu, and I'm tired. It took like an entire day to get here. It was like a 3-hour car ride, and then an hour plane ride, and then 3 hours, and then 12 hours, and then 3 hours, and I'm exhausted. But I'm here, and I'm going to go down and explore Honolulu today. And as you can see behind me, it's raining. I guess they're saying there's going to be a lot of rain coming up the next week. So we'll see if that's true. But I'm going to go up to the Honolulu hoods today and capture some of the crappy stuff that you guys like to watch. Sickos. Let's see how the weather cooperates on day one.
On night 2, we discovered the fancy side of Waikiki. There are so many upscale shopping stores along the main drag. Jimmy, Fendi, Foot Locker.
When did Crocs become so cool? Look at all the Crocs.
This was also the night that we went into a bunch of the fancy hotels that we didn't want to drop the dough on. A lot of these hotels down here are really over the top. This is the Hyatt Regency that has a waterfall and, of course, an ABC inside.
Another one?
This is the Royal Hawaiian, where it's only $600 a night, I learned. I was like, okay, I thought it'd be more. The whole place was packed with like a luau themed celebration or whatever. And then we watched the sunset, along with 50 other people. We had a drink at a place called Le'ahi, which is so cool. They have a surf shop underneath it.
Let's not get mad here. Yeah, exactly. No, it's not about the history here. Like, really, sir? Like, I'm not calling you uncle because you're not.
What's up?
So you guys know I'm pretty observant about what bars and restaurants put up on their TVs. Like, Texas always had small town rodeos on. The Midwest always has wrestling or women's basketball on. And here, surfing. All the time. The hotel TV even had a surfing channel. And then more food truck. This is Blue Ocean. And their menu is big. It goes all the way down there. So it was kind of hard to pick. Stuff like French toast, fried banana spam? Pancake spam, fried banana? Is that the same thing? We ate at this place many times. It was all wonderful. We got these big plates of food. I can see why they're the third fattest state. All that sugary rice and fat and big old plates of food. They don't really have a good healthy diet here. But we never got the chicken. Would have felt weird eating chicken with all the chickens underfoot every night. And you always wondered, where did they get this chicken? Did it come off the side of the road? A nice morning from our hotel room. We paid close to $300 a night for that view, in case you're wondering. But we had the best valet guy ever. His name's Arnell.
I haven't done shit in a while. Roll it.
I think I'd get hurt doing that.
So on night 3, more food truck. I hadn't had the spam musubi up to that point, and that's like their super popular thing that everybody eats. So I got that in a poke bowl.
It's like the spam is deep fried or something.
But Hawaiians love it. They love spam more than you love anything else. They eat 7 million cans of spam here. They even have spam at the McDonald's. Spam vending machine? What? Waikiki main drag. Just after sunset. The international marketplace is a big deal in Honolulu. People come all the way from Japan just to shop here. It's all these fancy shops that are tucked into what I thought looked like an old forest, I guess, with all the banyan trees. And the Japanese people love it. Christian Louboutin, Knight Rider, whatever that is. Well, that'll be neat.
I loved it here. They had all my brands.
Is that a hula skirt? That doesn't even fit you right.
It's Prada.
Prada doesn't make that shit, Karen. You got that at ABC's. On our last night in Honolulu, Kim and I went out and had some Mexican food. It was the first time that we were on this island that we actually ate in a sit-down restaurant. This isn't the Honolulu that Grandma and Grandpa used to come to in the 50s. That's for sure. There's no laid back strumming your ukulele under a coconut tree here anymore. It doesn't feel very traditional here. It doesn't feel very authentic. Honolulu's very corporate now. It's very busy. It's very expensive. And then throw in the crime and the drugs and the cost of living and the crowds and just plain old drama. Just a regular place now. It's nice here. It's not wonderful or anything. But I've only been to a few truly wonderful big cities in the U.S. There's people here from all over the world. That's good. And most people, they're very nice and respectful. I enjoyed my time here. On my last sunset, on my last night, everybody around me was speaking a different language. I was like, this is interesting. But this view, it's one language we all understood. That was deep. If you want, here's some bonus footage. My buddy Richard came by and picked me up at the hotel one of the days we were in town. He moved here a long time ago, and he has some strong opinions on what's going on here in Honolulu. So Richard and I drove around, and we talked about Honolulu's drama and how it's changed and what the hell's up with all the bums. It was quite entertaining. I think you should watch it. Here are the highlights.
They have cleaned up everything so that you don't see anything bad
Well, when did
Waikiki.
When did they clean it all up?
Over the last 6 months. It really got bad perhaps about a year ago to the point of being unsafe, but now everything in Waikiki is cleaned out. And so they did that to Chinatown as well, because usually...
Yeah, I just went to Chinatown and it was completely...
You didn't see
sidewalks
not a single one. And
I saw two.
Okay.
But they look like they had just got there.
Well, all right, there you go. But I mean, it used to be that they'd clean them out of Waikiki and then they'd go right straight to Chinatown. But now, Chinatown, all the small businesses, they've been complaining for years to clean it up, and they finally did.
So why did they finally clean Honolulu up, Richard?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with whoever's mayor, and the mayor made it a real big priority to make it clean and safe here. And I've got a friend that teaches tourism at UH, and we were talking about the Japanese not really coming here right now, and part of it's a yen issue, but a large part of it's they see how much crime is in America, and they're afraid to come here.
And they see the homeless people everywhere, and it stinks, and they're like, we're not coming.
Yeah, and so they don't want to see that in Waikiki. People spend a lot of money to come to Waikiki. Now here's like a little canal.
Yeah.
That's it. People were living down in there, and up here you're going to start to see it.
Oh,
okay?
I see it right there.
All right. So this has always been here. This was here even before things got bad. Here you go. Here you go.
Oh, man.
All right. So we didn't have to drive far out of Waikiki to find it.
Oh, I came through here. No, this is a different one.
All right.
Hey! Oh, I did come here earlier. We made friends earlier, remember? I talked to you earlier. Yeah.
Nick, you made friends with everybody.
I did. Well, there was a lady climbing out of the canal over here with a ladder that she built. And this other lady had a little gerbil. There she is. Num Num. Where's Num Num at? She has a little guinea pig, and we talked for about 20 minutes.
Really?
She and I. But yeah, and then I went down here and... Okay, so...
You have a nice rapport with these people, don't you?
Well, I just walk up and give them respect and ask them, what's going on.
I guess you have a trusting face, you don't look like the police that's coming after them.
Well, a lot of people say I have cop face.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I just come up and, what's going on and how are you and what are you doing out here and how long and...
Yeah.
All right, so they're cleaning up Honolulu, and that's good.
That's real good. Now, there's only so much they can.
But they're just pushing them. Where are they?
Well, most of them head out to the west side, and that's where you're going to see the worst. Now, when we come back, I'll take you through around Diamond Head, and they just did a big sweep out there, and just tons and tons of trash and camping stuff.
Yeah.
But as we go back there, you'll see that they've already started to move stuff back in, and this is only like 2 days later.
Yeah, I heard
there was a guy right on the corner.
The sprinkler or the wipers.
Yeah, there was a guy right on the corner of from my building, and he had the full shopping cart. I've seen this guy for a couple years. He kind of came right after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And he was there for about 3 days, and they cleaned him out, and now he's back with the shopping cart, and he's starting to collect again. And it's like, I guess he's going to be a permanent resident.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems to me like Honolulu's getting better now.
Oh, it is.
New mayor.
It is better. The problem is that, you know, they had the wildfire in Lahaina,
Yeah.
and all of the resources, all of the attention is on Maui right now. So whether it comes to homeless or crime or anything else, it all takes a back seat to Lahaina. But the mayor really has said that, you know, they're trying to build these small homes. They're like the size of a shipping container. And, you know, they have the homeless shelters, but people, they don't want to quit doing drugs, and they want to be able to bring their pets. And that's the two main reasons that, you know, that people don't go to the shelter. Because that's what we all say. You know, why are you homeless? We're taxpayers. We pay for the shelters. Why don't you go there? And they don't want to go there.
No, they don't. Well, there's rules in the shelter.
Yeah, they don't like rules.
And to be honest, there's crazy people in there. And they don't want to be around other crazy people.
I totally understand that too, you know.
I wouldn't want to either.
Really, absolutely.
So, how has Honolulu changed in 30 years since you've been here?
Well, it's growing up a lot, and you'll see when we get up the mountain here, you'll be able to see some of the high rises from Kaka'ako, and probably in the last 20 years, they've put maybe about 15 high rises. So that's going to increase the traffic. The traffic. I moved here from Los Angeles, and traffic wasn't too bad back in the early 90s, but you get out to past Pearl Harbor now, and the traffic's as bad as the 405 in California.
Yeah.
And so the traffic is probably what I've noticed more than anything. We've always had homeless and crime here. But a lot of these houses, you know, they'll have 15 people living in them because it's so expensive here, rent's so expensive, that you'll have extended families. Well, there's 15, 20 people in one small little house.
In middle class neighborhoods, and the
like
bad
like
in
here,
the poor,
like here.
something like in this.
All of it, all of it.
All this. There's people crammed into all this.
Some of them, you know, this is a little better neighborhood than some. But I'm going to take you on a really interesting.
Richard, I gotta say, you might be the jerkiest driver. I probably wouldn't notice it as much if I wasn't trying to film everything, but just. I think Hawaii has grown on you here with your driving.
No, I've got it in sport mode, and if I take that off, I think it'll. All right, so get ready. This is you're going to enjoy this. So
all of this is like, what would you say, middle class? What we're right
now we're getting upper middle class here.
Upper middle class.
This is called Waikiki here, and you know, if you're just moving to Hawaii, Waikiki is a more affordable area rent-wise. Now this is commercial houses. Neither of us can afford these houses.
How much are these houses?
Millions.
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 Can you do your washer, run your, let's get that off the window. Okay.
All right, now you're going to see down, we're going to start seeing down to the city below. Let's get up a little bit. And
these are all $1 million houses?
Oh,
I mean millions?
Million, yeah, there's Diamond Head over there.
Oh, let me get that.
We're going to come back down, it's not your last opportunity.
Well, I can understand why. Look at that view. Why these people pay. I mean,
I used to live up here, and so my daily walk would be walking around these roads here, take a walk, you know, after work or whatever.
Yeah.
I worked at the airport, and so it's maybe about a 20-minute drive to the airport if you live up here.
So even there's not people crammed.
No, not here.
This is
not
all
here.
like. What do
here.
these people do for their jobs? They can afford $3 million houses.
Well, and there are so many people, but a lot of them work for the government. This is a socialist state. it's very democratic, but just downright socialist. They create.
Well, what kind of government job pays you that you can afford a $3 million?
Oh, they're so corrupt here. Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah, we're
Thank
good.
you. All right.
So, and there's probably a lot of retirees up here.
Yeah. What was it? Richard Chamberlain. We just passed his house there. A lot of wealthy, rich people. Now, what we're going to come up to here is called Hawaii Homelands. And so if you're Native Hawaiian, you were ceded some of this land up here. But I'm curious to see if the homeless have invaded over here. We're going to find out quick enough.
Because they're kicking them off the streets and the beaches, and they're now having to go somewhere because they're not getting on Southwest Airlines and going back to LA.
Right.
So the homeless people are still here. They're just not in plain view, which I think everybody appreciates.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't see them up here. But
you think they'd be up here in this neighborhood?
This is all on Native Hawaiian, and they'd feel safe up here.
Oh.
But it may be that the people here say, "Get out of here! We don't want you hanging around here."
Oh, there's some right there. Right down there.
Okay.
So the cost of living here is just absolutely crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
You got to make what? What's a safe salary to be able to afford a middle class home in Honolulu?
Oh, that's a good question.
What would your guess be? Family income, comfortable middle class in Honolulu.
Oh, you'd have to make at least $150,000. Well, a lot of people will work 2 jobs, 3 jobs just to make it here. The city is doing its best to make it a safe, clean place for people to raise their children, but unless you can afford a private school, the public schools are not that good here, and there's a lot of the problems that go on with the mainland are happening here too, but it's parents don't enforce sending their kids to school, and drugs are always have been an issue here. The crystal meth thing just like 20 years ago, it just wiped out a whole generation of Hawaiian people because they got so addicted. But a lot of the people have moved to Las Vegas, and because Vegas is a lot more affordable than here. But I was in sticker shock when I first moved here. Just getting a box of cereal in the grocery store was like twice as much as California. But now, if you want to get like a half a gallon of organic milk, the fancy organic milk, it's $10. $10 for a half a gallon.
A half a gallon?
A half a gallon. And when I saw that, I'm going, man, maybe they're pricing me out of Hawaii. I mean, I got $800,000 in the bank, but I'm hoping I don't outlive my money. And all over the island, they've had these smash and grab crimes. Like they have them on the mainland too, but
well, they originated in Oakland.
Okay, well, whatever.
They got pretty good at it.
They imported it to here, that's for sure.
So they're doing smash and grabs in Honolulu
Smash
now?
and grabs in all these little mom and pop shops, And something that I had never seen is, maybe 6 months ago, I went to Target to buy some deodorant. Oh. And it was locked up.
Oh, they're locking the shit out.
Are you kidding me? Honolulu's turned it. I just thought the mainland did that shit. I didn't think they did that here.
Well, it's all of that started in California.
Oh, man.
Is this place turning into California?
Yeah, well, that was it. A lot of people have moved here from California, but now I'm seeing the Texas license plates and the New York license plates. And you wait till we get back into town here. The number of top of the line Mercedes that I'm seeing, and BMWs, they're everywhere, and it's like, where did these people come from? But you know, people are tired of the wildfires in California. They're tired of the crime in New York, and I think everybody's tired of everybody moving to Texas and realizing this isn't as good as what we thought it was going to be. But yeah, the apartment that I have, it was leasehold when I bought it, and I got it for like $250,000.
You bought an apartment for $250,000?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
So that was maybe about 5 years ago. But anyways, that's leasehold. Now they've just got the fee conversion, the fee simple, and so for like $130,000, I will pay the fee, and then eventually my apartment should like double in price, and I think probably within the next 3 years we should. People are schooled here. That's why.
There might be kids though. Very careful.
They're going into the school here.
We can't record any kids getting smushed.
No, we can't do that.
I'll have to delete that whole video.
Yeah,
and
we
then
would
have to start over. Throw the camera in the volcano and start fresh.
Let me get this off of sport mode here. So, but there are times when I've gotten fed up with stuff here, and I said, I want to move back to Minnesota, but all I know would just take a couple of cloudy days, and I'd be questioning my sanity of why did I do this. But this isn't for everybody. Some people, they think the weather's monotonous and boring. And I gotta admit, I do miss a good thunderstorm once in a while. All right, now we're going to be coming down to King Street.
Yeah, I went up and down King. It looks like they've cleaned King Street up too, from what I've heard, and then what I saw. I was like, either you people have no idea what that is, or they did clean it up, because I did see some pockets.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. I'll tell you.
Yeah, you tell me.
Because I haven't been down the street for maybe a month or two, and I'll tell you whether I think it's cleaned up or not. Oh yeah, they have cleaned this up immensely. Oh, this is way better than what it used to be.
So this used to be up.
Oh yeah, this was all trash. No, they've done a great job.
How long ago do you think it's been?
They've done
2 weeks, a month,
and then the last month or so. Yeah, this is way better.
Why didn't they just come back? Don't they usually just come right back?
Well, yeah, they do, and I think if we were to come back next week, you'd start to see them. They must have done some major sweeping here, man.
So this looked like Skid Row right up in here.
Yeah, yeah. You know, this isn't bad either. I've heard that this street was terrible. I don't see anything.
In Chinatown, you were telling me you've never seen it that clean.
Never seen it that clean.
In 30 years.
In 30 years. I never thought they could do it. I just thought, oh, good luck on that.
Well, maybe they heard Nick Johnson was coming, and they were like,
yeah, maybe.
We better mow our yard and pick up the trash, because we got a guest coming in who is not going to hold back. Oh, look at that Taco Bell. That's how they used to look back when I was a kid, back in California.
Boy, I remember those days, yeah.
That's like San Bernardino Taco Bell.
Yeah. But what I'm afraid of, Nick, is that with all these, new high-rises going in and new people moving here, is the resources, the water. I don't know if you're aware, they had a fuel leak up by Pearl Harbor, and it contaminated some of the water, and so then all of a sudden they're rationing water, and it was like island wide, because we're experiencing kind of a drought here, and that's I'll tell you right straight off that the Lahaina wildfire, that was a result of climate change. Now, yeah, was there a bunch of fuel that was available that maybe the electric company should have cleaned up, or somebody should have cleaned up? Yeah, that added to it, but the winds were 80 miles an hour, and I've been going to Maui for 40 years. And I've watched it get drier and drier and drier, and all of the islands are going through this right now. And I really think that, you know, I'm worried 50 years from now what's going to happen, because we're losing trade wind days, and trade winds are what keep it cool here. Without the trades, it's tropical, and especially during the hurricane season.
So you're worried that maybe in 50 years Hawaii is going to be completely different?
This will be like a desert isle. It seems to be the trend now. You know, I know that eventually when the rains do come, it's going to come and it's going to flood this area. Just if you remember years ago in Kauai, they had like 80 inches in 24 hours or whatever. I mean, it's just insane amount of rain.
Wow.
And
how long ago was that?
That was maybe about 5 years ago. It was just one of those freak storms. Kauai always gets a lot of rain, but all the islands are starting to experience the beginnings of climate change. So you know, I just think the long term, you can have all these people moving here, and yeah, it's additional tax revenue, and you know, the property taxes and all that, but I'm concerned about things like water and electricity.
Well, you won't be here in 50 years, Richard.
No,
I hate to break it to you.
I won't. My wife will, when I pass away, she'll probably move back to the Philippines. Mm-hmm. She's got an extended family in Mindanao, and maybe she'll have had enough of America by now. But you know, when you talk about illegal immigration or whatever, we did things the proper way. I got a fiancé visa, brought her over, you know, and got the green card, and eventually she got a U.S. passport and citizenship and everything. Yeah. But boy, talk about, she is really opposed to all the illegal people coming, more than I am, and you know, she wasn't even born here. Plate lunch is a big thing in Hawaii, and basically, it's a plate with a couple scoops of rice, your what they call it, your starch or whatever, and you'll have some macaroni salad that's just full of mayonnaise, disgusting. And then you'll get your meat, whether it be fried pork or hamburger steak with an egg and gravy over it. But all what I'm trying to tell you is it's one of the most unhealthy things you could ever eat. Oh. And these people eat it every day. And so if you see extra large Hawaiians, it's because of their diet. It's not because they're built that way so much as because of their diet. Yeah. And you know, white rice is not good for you. Even the Japanese are finding out that they can get diabetes, just like us Americans,
white rice, you can get
from white rice, because the white rice has sugar.
So what should I be eating here that's going to be healthy for me that everybody eats?
Well, you don't look like you have a weight problem.
No, but I want to eat healthy when I'm here. I mean, if I just told me I can't eat a damn plate lunch.
Kaka'ako, now that's where all the high rises are up, and that used to be full of homeless, absolutely full. And now they've cleaned that all out, so that's now where all the hip restaurants are at.
Yeah, I don't want hip restaurants.
Okay.
What about just on Waikiki?
And Waikiki, you're just going to get all this high-priced food. You're paying 3 times the amount.
Or street food, which is going to have bad for you.
Street food. The food trucks, they're actually one of the better things.
I know, that's what we've been eating.
And there's a variety of them.
But it's got a lot of rice.
Well, you can always eat brown rice too, you know.
Oh, brown rice. There you go.
Some places have the option.
What's up with these trees with the big root-looking? What are those called?
They're called banyan trees.
Banyan, okay. Those are
they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Those are very cool. I think I saw a homeless guy in the top of this one.
Oh, really?
Or something out here. I'll show you right now. Oh my God! Look at this day, Richard.
See, this is your average day.
Would you consider this a crowded day or a not crowded day?
This is not crowded.
This is not crowded.
We're at kind of a lull right now for tourism.
Yeah, see the tent thing up there or something?
Maybe.
There's like I don't know who the fuck's up there. So this is considered light.
Yeah. This is, for me, this is just the right amount of tourists. But it's as soon as we get into summertime, all the California families are going to come with their kids. Once their kids get out of school, then it actually gets more crowded with Californians than it does snowbirds from from Minnesota and Canada.
Yeah.
It's really a short-term rentals issue that they just passed a law that if you own a rental property, that you have to, the state can determine whether it can be a short-term rental or whether you have to rent it out long-term. And because you got all these people that are displaced, don't have any place to go, and the state can't afford to put them up in a short-term rental. They can afford to put them in a long-term rental. But even that's expensive.
So how much more packed is it back at that beach we just saw that you said it's, no, that's nothing. I mean, is it just madhouse?
It'd be twice as many people. Waikiki can really get crowded.
And all the getting a drink and a food and restaurant lines are just crazy, I guess.
Yeah. And a lot of the little small mom and pops, they didn't make it through COVID. And, they may have made it, but they are not surviving it now. And it's just, inflation. It's just affecting everybody, not just my milk at the grocery store, but a little business owner that just, can't afford the inflation.
How much do you think that this house is? See this for sale right there on the corner? How much do you think that house is?
Several million. All right, now this is now we're considered going into the Diamond Head area.
Yeah.
And Diamond Head and Kahala are probably the two most exclusive areas on Oahu.
Is that Diamond Head right there on the left?
Yes.
That's the part of the old crater.
Yeah. So and it's normally in the wintertime it's really green. It's like it's got like a hula skirt on it, but we didn't have that much rain this winter, and while things may seem green, it's basically pretty dry here, and you'll see it more as we get up in here. And this is the area where the homeless love to come.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing you do is get off the airplane, go to a grocery store, get a shopping cart, and then head for here.
Head for Diamond Head.
Head for Diamond Head.
Why?
Yeah.
What is it about? Look at that water.
Yeah,
what is
this
it
is
about
where I
that?
walk every day. I take this walk every day.
Oh, you walk all the way down here?
Yeah.
How far? How many miles?
9 miles round trip.
So we're about 3 miles from downtown right now, probably.
Yeah, about that. So now we're really starting to get into the exclusive homes, and so all this area up in here, this is where the homeless. Look at the bicycle and the tree, but they clean this out. I mean, this was last week, just mountains of trash. And good, I can go slow here now. You'll see as soon as we get up here. You want to aim right down over here.
We're looking for tents and
okay.
homeless.
Take a look down there. That's only one tent. That's not bad. Up here, you're going to see some more. They took all this trash out. Now look how that's collected again. You see that?
Yep.
Yeah. That's nothing.
It used to be way worse.
Oh, 10 times the amount.
Well, good. Hawaii maybe is healing a little bit.
I think it is. It's not all bad.
All it took was one politician to give a shit. Is that what's
happening?
I
like the mayor. He's not as corrupt as the rest of them are.
That's what I'm saying. But the problem's been getting worse and worse with the crime and the homelessness and the trash and the whatever. And this new guy is taking charge and cleaning it up. Right?
And the police are doing their job. And I had heard the police union several weeks ago had said they're short 400 police officers. Now that's the union talking. But still, if we're short all these police officers, no wonder the crime has been out of control.
Yeah. So are they, I heard they're offering signing bonuses, $25,000 to be a cop, and they're still turning it down. They can't get people to want to be cops anymore on this island.
Right.
Have you heard that?
Yeah. And they're having problems with getting doctors and nurses because everything's so expensive. Even with a doctor's salary, they can't even afford to live here.
Not nicely.
Yeah,
not
I
the way
mean,
they want to live.
if you've inherited some money and you've inherited a big house and don't have a huge mortgage, then yeah, if you've got like a doctor or nurse salary, yeah, you can live comfortably. But if you're starting out, the problem is specialists. Like a place on the Big Island or whatever. There's just you have to fly to Oahu to see a specialist. Now you'll see up on top of the hills here, all of those are equally beautiful mansions. That yeah, you're right. What jobs do these people work? How can there be so many wealthy people? Because all of those houses are multi-million. All of them, and it goes all the way down to Waikiki. Where do these people get all their money?
That is a good question. I'd probably tell you hard work, Richard.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm kind of old-fashioned that way. I believe in work hard, play hard. But I don't understand. That the work ethic in America has just kind of disappeared, and it sure wasn't that way growing up.
Please shut the water all the way off. Mahalo! I've been in Oahu for an entire week. This is the first time I've gone out and had any drinks. I've been working so hard. I need to remember to not work so hard, YouTube. Huh? That's right. Mahalo, YouTube. All right. Having fun.
Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. And I can also help you find your new house, too. Email me and I'll work with you. I'm not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home, too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. And I'm on Cameo, too. If you want me to send you or somebody you know a personalized video message, go to Cameo and search Nick Johnson YouTube. It's fun. Hey guys, if you learned something new about America or what it's like to live in America, great. You should think about subscribing and turning on your notifications. You can also click one of these videos or playlists for more.
Hey YouTube world, I'm Sage, Nick's manager. You've enjoyed a Corner House Entertainment production, so watch another one.